In this video, I'm going to show you how I shoot LEGO photos with my phone. Here's the LEGO build I'm going to be using to show you how I take photos of LEGO with my phone. This is a mock of a tiny house, and I chose this because phones are excellent at getting more of the scene in focus, even up close, and making small areas seem bigger. This box with all these wires are connected to tiny LEDs in the mock. There's this one outside. And I have a couple inside the kitchen and the living area. See what I mean about tight interiors? So let me show you what those tiny LEDs look like. Here's the one that I use on the outside. This end just plugs into this controller box. There's this micro USB slot right there. I just plug in a power bank to the controller box. I think there's a battery-powered version, I really don't remember. But I remember there being an app for this too, for effects or something, but I never use it. So let's just get that plugged in. This orange button is the on-off button, and you can cycle through the other effects as well. One press and the lights are on. Here's what that looks like in the kitchen. The one in the living area is attached to the ceiling here. So these artificial lights, coupled with natural light from my window, will be my lighting. And this little guy is a custom I made recently from the collectible minifigure series. He's a cute but rugged dude that lives in the tiny house. To give him some stuff to do in the photos, I've gathered some props or accessories, like a pizza that he might make in the oven. And obviously, he needs some oven mitts for that. Here's a little cat he might have. And no tiny house would be complete without a cup of coffee or tea. So in my first photo, I just want to have him looking outside through the glass door. He probably has an amazing view. I'm just going to set him down and slowly push him back into the house, but as close to the door as possible. Focusing through these transparent doors can be tricky. It's plastic, not glass, so it's going to distort as well. Some LEGO photographers take off the transparent doors and windows. For this shot though, I really want to keep the doors and windows on, because bad weather is approaching, in the form of this tiny water spray bottle. So just a few spritzes on the tiny house should do the trick. I don't really want like big blobs of drops. I'm trying to keep the drops smaller. And now I'm ready to take my shot. I have my grid lines turned on, which helps me line up the shot. I'm lining up the edge of the door with that first vertical line. So I see that I'm not going to get a clear shot of this guy's face because of all the water drops. And the solution for that is a cotton swab. I'm just lightly touching. I don't want to create any streaks. Everything looks good. Let's take a shot. But I want to make sure that I have the minifig's face in focus. And to do that, I go to Pro Mode. So in manual focus, I can slide this with my finger to change the plane of focus from near to far. The part that's in focus is highlighted in green for me, so I can see it easily. The next thing I want to do is add some mist. The mist is very fine, but dissipates quickly. And it can be really tricky to work with, so you just have to practice. There's that bare LED near his head that I want to have more of a glow around, and mist catches that light and diffuses it. It's very subtle in the video, but I'll show you the effect later in the photo. I have a lot of space on the left and right sides of the frame because I'm shooting 9:16 format on my phone. I'll take care of that in editing though. I picked this photo from the session, and the first thing I want to do is open it up in Photoshop Express, which is free, and fix the tilt that I didn't intend. I'm just going to crop, then transform, and then tap the Balanced Auto tool. I like how Photoshop Express does that automatically. Next, I take it to Snapseed, which is also free. I'm going to fine-tune the rotation. just a touch. Then I'm going to crop it to 3x2 to get rid of that extra space to the left and right of the frame. I shot for the crop in mind earlier, and I also wanted to get in tighter. I'll add a vignette to affect some light fall off from the light and to direct attention towards the subject. I'll use the dodge and burn brush to darken that left side even more, so it appears more in shadow. It also adds depth. I want those raindrops to pop, so I'll use the selective tool, choose structure, and crank that up to bring out the details. I want more focus on his face, so I'll use the selective tool to brighten it a bit. That LED is a cool blue light, which is so I'm gonna make it warmer. I swear I bought these in warm white, but whatever. I'll make the whole photo a bit warmer too by dragging the temperature higher. I like the softness of my window light here, but not the cooler color. One last vignette to make the environment seem darker than it was. And maybe I will just change the perspective a bit more manually to taste. Okay, so here's that photo, which I think looks pretty good. Okay, so that's the first photo I wanted to shoot. The next photo is an interior shot from overhead with directional sunlight. My bedroom has direct sunlight at some point, and so I've taken my tiny house mock there to light the interiors with it. Since this is an overhead shot, I need to pop off the top of the mock. And we're still going to use this guy to get more shots of his life in a tiny house. I just need to carefully place him on the sofa, which can be tricky because it's hard to move around in there. I'll have him play with his cat. I'm just looking through my phone and rotating the tiny house, evaluating the light, where it's landing, where the shadows are, the shapes they cast, something interesting. I'm in Pro mode with manual focus again. I'm just going to take a few more shots, turning the mock around, seeing what the light looks like, checking for reflections. I'll try to shoot at least a dozen photos this way, because I just enjoy seeing the light refracting through all the windows and doors. I tend not to quit when I'm having fun, even if I think I got the shot already. I just like shooting. I ended up liking this shot with the sun coming in at another angle, and I added a touch of mist. So I'll open this in Snapseed. Rotate and crop are my first two edits. Again, I want a standard 3x2 aspect ratio, and I don't need so much in the photo, so I'll crop in much closer. I'll rotate again after the crop to get those lines straighter. I'll manually shift the perspective because I probably didn't have my phone straight. Brighten the face with the selective tool as usual. I'll add my vignette again to draw the eye to the subject more. And I'll do an auto rotation just to see if that helps. And it does. So here are those two photos, both shot with a phone inside my home with natural light except for the tiny LEDs. I took a few more photos shooting at different angles, with different poses, different accessories or props, and different compositions. Anyway, you get the point. I had fun with my phone and I created some pretty cool photos, I think. If you want to learn more about phone photography, check out the article on my blog 4brickstall.com about taking better toy photos with a phone. Hope that was fun and informative. Thanks for watching. This is 4 Bricks Tall. I'll catch you next time.